Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of SYD Life. I am Charlotte. I'm here with Alex, and we are going to be talking about being anxious about buying a house, talking about real estate, property investment, and we're going to be joined with a guest later, so stay tuned.
That was brilliant.
Thank you.
Yeah.
SYD
That was the best
Life.
you've done. That's what he left. Stand down.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Coachella.
Okay, yes.
I just want to throw you off by not immediately talking about
Taylor Swift, and I am shocked by that. Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead.
Coachella was happening in the last few weeks.
Yes.
Have you ever been?
I've never been. No.
That shocks me.
Does it?
No.
Okay, yeah, because I don't even fully understand it. I know people wear outfits.
It's just
in
a
the
music
desert?
festival
Is it in the desert?
in Palm Springs, California.
Not in the desert. Or it is in the desert.
Yeah,
Okay, in Palm
it
Springs.
is. It is in the desert, but it sounds miserable.
Yeah.
But it looked really good this year.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
What are you going to tell me about it?
That Taylor Swift was there.
Oh, she was there.
She was there with
Hold on, this
Travis.
became a Taylor Swift thing really quick. Okay.
She was there with Travis, Weekend One.
Got you.
In the crowd, just
Yes.
like living her best life, like 3 days before her album came out.
Got you. Yeah.
And it was iconic, to say the least.
Why was it iconic?
Because she just like used to never go out.
Yeah.
Like she was never seen.
Sure.
But nowadays
Right.
with Travis, she's like,
Yeah.
let's just pop down to Coachella
Yeah, okay.
and like blow everyone's minds. But it also could have just been her trying to stay like relevant a bit again.
Yeah, I mean, a celebrity going to a concert or a festival doesn't sound that iconic to me.
But it's Taylor Swift.
Got you. That's the key.
It's Taylor
Yeah,
Swift.
everything she does is iconic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And everything has meaning to it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Speaking of,
her album came out.
her album came out. Have you listened to it?
Well, I've had to be honest, caught snippets. Yeah. And I said to Felice, because she was listening to it.
I just feel like I'm going to be offended, so just give me a
Yeah,
second.
no. Like now hear me.
Yeah.
I've never been a Swiftie.
Yeah.
But I appreciate the effect and her popularity. And there are some things that I think she did well. Remember I told you I was watching that concert video, I think from the Eras tour. And she was doing, what was that album that I liked? Reputation.
yeah.
And I said, hey, some of these songs are good. And you know.
You like the stage
I like the
design
choreography and
the
everything that's
snake.
going on. Yeah. The CGI snake, that was cool.
Yeah.
So look, I'm not saying I hate it.
Yeah.
However, this album 100% just was one song for 3 hours. It just sounded like the same song was happening through the whole time. Yeah.
Okay.
You have any thoughts on that?
I just want to rewind
Okay.
and just talk to you about the album, and then I'll share my thoughts because I just can't react immediately to
Okay,
that.
so you're upset at me. Okay.
No,
Not that my critique is uncommon. Felicity told me other people are saying that too.
a lot of people have been saying
Okay,
that.
cool. Right.
Yeah, but it's just like because no one gets her like I do.
Got you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but she. I just want to take you back. If you will come on this journey with me.
Okay, I hope our audience will too.
It'll be
Taylor
brief.
Swift content
It'll be
is
brief.
always
It'll
interesting.
be so brief. I
Okay.
promise. She won an award, announced the album, and
Yes.
she did a peace sign, which also means double. And everyone's ears pricked up.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, wait a minute, that's suspicious. So everyone
Yeah.
started being like, oh my gosh, is this album going to be a double album?
Yeah.
And everyone was like, oh my gosh, no, it can't be. That would be crazy. She would never. But then it's also like, she so would because
Yeah.
it's Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
And then Friday, 15 songs are released.
Yeah.
Or I don't know, maybe more,
Yeah.
maybe less. I can't remember specifically.
That's fine.
And everyone listens
I
to
don't
it,
care. Yeah.
loses their mind. And then 2
Yeah.
hours later,
Yeah.
she released 15 more songs.
Yeah. Yeah.
She did
That's great.
She did release 15 more songs.
Look how excited you are.
Crazy that is.
I know. But I actually understand how she was able to do it because it was just the same song 15 times. So, like, yeah, fair enough. You've done a double album of the same sound.
It's
It's like
Okay.
good on her.
No,
Like
okay.
shock factor of double album. But what was also shocking is it's just the same song.
It's not an uncommon critique
Yeah.
or reaction.
Yeah.
But when I listened to it the first time, I did kind of got a bit lost in it because it was a lot of it does sound the same. But if you listen to it a few times,
Yeah.
you'll start to separate things.
Yeah.
And it's also like,
Fair. That's fair.
yeah. I don't know. It was really good. It was a great weekend, but it was so overwhelming. because already the first album went for an hour.
Mm.
And so then it was like, then an hour later, we had another
More of
hour.
the same. I know.
Travis got 2 songs. That never happens in a rookie year for her boyfriend.
Yeah.
So
I appreciate that fans would have found lots of different meaning and stuff from it. And she's entitled to put out whatever content she wants, whatever music she wants. That's her prerogative.
Yeah. Hey, one more thing. You have a kid.
I have a child, yes.
And her name's Florence.
Yes. Florence and the Machine was on the album.
Oh, yeah. I was not even going to say that.
Oh, okay. Nice.
But your daughter featured on the album.
Was the song Florida or something like
Florida.
that? Cool.
Yeah.
I know stuff.
Yeah. And she also co-wrote one of the other ones as well.
Yeah.
But no. So there's this like really popular girl going around on TikTok.
Yeah.
Her name is Nara Smith.
Mm.
And she is so funny. She's like got really famous because I don't really know how to explain her, but it would be like, my kids asked for like cinnamon toast crunch for breakfast, so I made it from scratch. And it's like her like literally making like the tiny things. Yeah. And everyone's like, are you okay? Yeah. Like, that's ridiculous. Yeah. Anyway, so she's
a bit eccentric, a bit out there. But
out there, but then it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, this could just all totally be fake, but we're not completely sure.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
But it's like, she just like has the front of like very like, what's the word, like
ephemeral.
Minimal. Oh, yeah. Yeah, minimal and like we'll just, that vibe. And she just had another kid.
Yes.
And I just want to get your reaction to the names of her 3 kids.
Okay.
So her first kid is called Rumble Honey.
I'm getting a picture of what this kind of person is here.
Are
Rumble
you ready?
Honey, yeah.
Slim Easy.
Wow.
Her third kid is called...
These are words.
Her third kid is called Whimsy Lou.
Whimsy Lou, okay.
And their last name's Smith.
Well, that's why, because Smith is so boring. You've really got to liven up. Got to throw some Rumble Honey in there. Yeah.
There's been this thing.
Rumble Honey.
Is it bad that I kind of love the name Rumble?
I love the name Rumble Honey, to be honest, but I couldn't do it.
You could never, yeah. But then there's been all these like TikTokers then have been like being like mocking her and being like, so we just had our third kid and here are some names.
Yeah, nice. I love it.
Like
okay, great.
Most awful names.
I
saw one that was like something like bee pollinator. It's like, but my husband said no. He went for James and I thought, not for me. So it was like, it's literally so good.
I have a cultural moment to discuss with you.
Okay.
Get your opinions on.
Yeah.
Not that I trust everything you think about footwear and fashion, as evidenced by those really nice Adidas that you're wearing right now.
Thank you.
What I was going to... sorry, you said thank you, but I was actually burning you. Okay.
I'm just choosing to hear what I want to hear.
Yeah, no, clearly.
Yeah.
Even Delulu. That's just Delulu. So I was perusing my news channels and something came up about Crocs, the footwear. Yeah. And I've got some opinions on Crocs. But Crocs came out, did you see this? Crocs came out with a Pringles matchup, what do they call it? Combination matchup with Crocs. So they were like Pringles and Crocs were together. I don't exactly know how. Maybe when we do the edit, we can put up the picture of what those shoes look like. And then there were like Crocs heels and...
Yeah. Have you not known the like big universe of Crocs?
Yeah, well,
I'd love to study their resurgence because I wore them as like a little kid.
Yep.
And then thought they were foul, like disgusting for so long, similar to these shoes.
I still do.
And then I bought some.
And now you love them, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
you became a part
I don't
of the
think that
matrix.
they look that good on me, so I don't wear.
You go for these lovely Adidas shoes that you wear, the indoor soccer shoes.
My pair.
Just want anytime, any moment.
I'm ready to
play
ball.
futsal. I'm here. Yeah, yeah.
No one's ever asked me to play futsal before,
which is weird because you are constantly wearing outfits that are like, I'm ready to play.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
My pair are hot pink.
Okay.
My
Crocs.
Okay. So it's not like
it's a strong statement.
It's like I just wear them if I'm running out the door to like go to a friend's house.
Okay, sure.
And occasionally, but
Well, I understand I'm in the minority on thinking they're fashionable or appealing. I understand that. I've never liked them.
You've never liked them?
Never liked them.
Florence would look really cute in some little baby
Crocs.
Look, I'm going to buy her some
that's
Crocs.
fine. She can wear them. Like, I don't care enough to stop my daughter from wearing them. But I don't like them.
Pringle Crocs.
Same with Birkenstocks, different combo.
Oh,
I hate
you don't
Birkenstocks
like
as well.
people's feet though.
Well, I don't like seeing the feet, especially when it's like sweaty and I can see the sweat patches. And very few flat feet look appealing. It doesn't matter. What I'm trying to say, I'm giving sidetracked on the Birks. We can talk about them in another episode.
Sure.
Crocs.
Yeah.
So I did actually some research. How do they get popular? So these guys.
You did?
Yeah. Well, I was just reading about it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I didn't want to get Crocs. I was just like, how that? Because it did make me go, how the heck did these things get so popular? And why do I still hate them? Because a lot of my friends wear Crocs, etc.
Right.
And so I'm like, okay, these are certainly a cultural icon. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so I read up a little bit about it. And these two guys were working for another company or something, and they purchased the production rights from just someone else that was making it. They didn't invent the Croc.
Oh.
Someone else did for some kind of footwear. They were looking for footwear that would be comfortable for hospitality and for nursing.
That's right.
And that's where they came out. They're for that.
Like chefs.
They're for people who are on their feet all day and prioritize comfort, which is why they look terrible, because it's about comfort. But then something happened about 10 years ago, 15 years ago, and it became ironic. And then you see people like the artist Post Malone.
Justin Bieber.
Post Malone. Yeah, he's got a
Really?
mix. Yeah, he's got one, and then Justin Bieber as well.
He does have. Yeah.
I'm saying the guy's name
I
right.
love Post Malone.
His name's Post Malone.
I love him. He featured on
in the album.
Yeah.
The tattoo thing on the video was cool.
Yeah.
I watched a few things. Yeah, we're not going back down Taylor Swift. It's fun. The album sounds the same. So anyway, all these cultural influences are wearing Crocs, and that's what really brought them to fame. Anyway, my point being is, my question was, do you like Crocs? Because I would have thought you might not.
I do.
You like them?
I do, but
well,
I'm
out
also
here
like,
saying I don't like them. So in the comments, let us know.
I'm not sold out on them.
Yeah.
But also, I did hate on them for a long time and then changed my opinion.
Yeah.
Like I do like them
Yeah,
now.
you changed it. I understand that.
I'm like, we'll probably buy another pair.
Cool.
I want to get like a neutral pair so that I can.
Well, anything to replace.
I can style.
What's currently on the
Maybe
menu?
should
would be
I wear
good.
my Crocs next episode?
No, that's fine. Although pink is good. It's like a bold, ironic statement. You know.
Mine shrunk. I left them in the car in summer for like a month.
Yeah.
And then they shrunk. So I like
Can't wear them.
can't really wear them anymore.
That's key detail.
Yeah, just in case you're wondering.
Okay, well there we go. So Pringles and Crocs have got together, and I don't like Crocs.
I'm like,
and I reckon there's an audience out there. I reckon there are a bunch of people who are like, I know they're cool, but I don't like them.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to find those people.
My cousin.
They're my tribe.
My cousins in Scotland.
Yeah.
They live for their Crocs.
Yeah, sure. When would they be able to wear them? It's too cold.
True, actually. Well, they wore them when they came and visited us.
Gotcha.
But one of them has like the platform ones, and I got really convinced of getting them. But I can't see it. But I'm not claiming to be someone who knows fashion. I just cannot get behind it, and I won't get behind it. Yeah. Hey, I got a haircut.
You got a haircut? It looks great.
Thank you.
Yeah. What would you like me to say about that?
I just saw you.
It looks great. Your haircut looks great.
Thank you.
Just fishing for compliments.
Yeah.
Oh, because I've been slamming the shoes.
Yeah,
well, okay, shoes not great, haircut looks great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I actually just remembered another thing I had to say.
Charlotte's just picking up her piece of paper, and now she's knocked her mic. Hopefully it all works out.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't live on the trains. I catch trains and public transport a lot.
Yeah.
In Sydney.
One of the people.
One of the people for uni. And yesterday I had like a rushed morning. It was my sister's birthday, and we like went out for breakfast early, and I packed my uni bag, and I forgot my headphones.
Oh no.
And a book.
Yeah.
So
and a book. So no Kindle.
Was screwed.
Yeah.
I literally I like called one of my
Yeah.
friends who lived near the cafe we were at, and I was like, "Can I please come and get headphones?" But he didn't answer.
Yeah.
I went into a chemist at the train station, was like, "Do you have headphones?" And they said no. So I had to sit on the train for
With your
30
thoughts.
minutes purely with my
Crazy.
thoughts.
Absolutely outrageous.
But also because like I was going to listen to the lecture
Yeah, sure.
on the train because I was completely unprepared.
Yeah.
And I literally just had to sit
Sit
there
there.
like
Yeah.
looking out the window. Anyway,
Yeah.
it was
sad.
It was brutal. It was brutal.
Speaking of brutal,
Yeah.
before I know we're going to get to our episode really soon. Really looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I don't feature in it, but I'll still listen to it this time.
Great. It's nice of
You know, a lot of people have been asking me, "Hey, Alex, noticed like you're feeling a bit insecure in the podcast. Like Charlotte's going to replace you, and with Tyler, who was on episode 2." And I was like, "Guys, Charlotte's assured me he's getting nowhere near this gig. This seat is mine. Don't worry about it. I've got it. Like I'm going to trust in Charlotte that even though she cut me from certain things and replaced me with Tyler, it's going to be all good. And then I find out that actually Tyler's now in the room with us, which is a shock. So Tyler's now in the room for our episode. So he's inching closer and closer. I understand what's happening. You're just trying to get him closer and closer until like the audience is like, which is like, Tyler said, just a younger, balder dude. And I thought, okay, fair enough. Yeah, that's what I'm getting replaced with.
I clearly have a type for this podcast
Yeah,
that I'm looking for,
exactly. And I was like the prototype, but now you found the true type. So he's getting closer and closer, guys. So SOS for me.
What could I say?
It's more like, I don't think there is anything because your actions are betraying what you say, because Tyler is like 1 meter away from me right now.
Let us know.
1.8 meters.
If you're listening, if you're watching, who do you prefer?
Okay. Don't let us know that, because I know it's me.
Just, you didn't have to be like overt about it, but just like.
You do need to be overt. I'm that insecure.
It was so good. Well.
Wait, one last thing.
Yes.
You will not believe this to our audience,
God.
but the only person to have words and content cut out of the podcast is our very own Charlotte. I've said nothing inappropriate, but she has at least 2 times that we've had to cut a bunch of the recording.
And you'll never ever know what
I know. I
said.
want to chase it because some,
you can't.
Some of it was despicable.
Yeah. Alex just knows how to act in front of a camera better than I do.
Yeah, there's more of a filter.
Yeah. I'll just,
Yeah, no, you were saying some things.
This makes me sound.
Yeah. Well, one of them was highly inappropriate. I just don't think you know what you were saying when you said it, but that's fine. The other one was more like I was just making you feel bad and it was really good squirmy content.
You
but
could
you've
probably
got to
figure
protect
that
your
one
image.
out.
Yeah.
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 Anyway.
Onwards.
We are now going to talk to Geoff Cooper, who is a business owner, property investor, and just like a bit of a gold mine when it comes to all this stuff. So stay tuned. It's going to be a great chat and I will meet you there.
Nice. And I hope you saw Charlotte shove her face into the microphone just then. You did well. You kept your composure. Well done.
Okay. Well, living in Sydney, it's no secret that it's quite an expensive place to live and there's a lot of anxiety and kind of this feeling of impossibility around buying a house in Sydney. But we're joined here with Geoff Cooper, who's a bit of an expert on it all.
Oh, I don't know about that, but there you go.
He is a business owner, a property investor, and we are so blessed to have you join us.
Oh, thank you.
So why don't you just tell us a bit about your experience?
Yeah, sure. Well, I started life as an engineer and worked as one for 8 years and then fell into recruiting and then ended up building up a business and selling that to a Japanese company. But all the way through that, I'd always loved property.
Yeah.
So I bought my first place when I was 25 and I've got my own self-managed super fund, which comprises a whole bunch of country-style properties or properties in New South Wales and Queensland. And so I've been involved in buying places and also building my own places.
Okay, nice.
Buying land in the country.
Yeah, right.
And building a couple of houses on a block of land.
Yeah, cool.
But I didn't ever do that myself. It was always other people helping me do that.
Yeah.
Which I think is the key.
The key, yeah.
You don't have to know everything yourself.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, and then also been very involved in the share market. I've always loved the idea of having kind of multiple streams of income. So from shares and from property and also from my recruiting. Yeah. And also any other entrepreneurial activity.
Yeah, cool.
But yeah, it sounds like I'm smart, but I'm just kind of hardworking and like reasonably clever.
You are smart. You're so good.
Oh, thank you.
So, talking to people that are in uni, just out of high school, kind of young, and are just starting out, have absolutely no idea. I'm in that category. I'm absolutely, feels like I'm in the dark.
That's a good place to be.
Yeah. It can feel kind of daunting and just a bit scary and also like, what on earth do I do? So what is like step one when it comes to all this stuff? Like if I wake up one day and I'm like, okay, it's time, what is step one?
Look, I think step one is to get a bit of paper and start writing down your dreams for the future. Don't get stuck in the now.
Yeah.
Really push it out. Maybe think way ahead. Maybe think when you're 30, 40 or actually no, think when you're 40, 50 years old. Yeah. What would the ideal thing be? Because everyone's going to be different. Some people are going to be more motivated towards building wealth. and they want to become financially independent, for example, which means that your income from your investments is more than you need to live.
Yeah. Okay.
And then other people are more motivated by the security of having a home.
Yeah.
For a family, because that's very important, so that you don't get tossed out of rental properties, and you've got the security of a home.
Yeah.
And other people might be like outrageously entrepreneurial, thinking, "Wow, I want to become a property investor." So I think if you write all that down, and that also kind of uncovers a little bit of what you believe about money, because some people have a bit of a subconscious sort of ick thing about money.
Yeah, right.
Is it ethical for me to buy an investment property? And is it okay for me to have money? Isn't money bad? And so I think it's really good to, once you've written down that kind of that dream that you may have, that helps you uncover any kind of attitudes you may have, and also it gives you that focus, a dream, and that makes you bolder, that makes you more confident, that makes you more kind of determined to achieve that goal. That's not where you're going to start.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you've got a dream, you've got a beautiful 4-bedroom home in Avalon, or that's not where you start. But you work back from there. And you develop a whole bunch of steps to help you get there. And these days, that plan might be 20 years. It could be 25 years. It could be 10 years. So it's very important not to put too much pressure on yourself to have to think, wow, I have to get there straight away, because that's not going to be possible for most people.
Yeah, I love that. So just get everything down and then kind of figure out from there how to get somewhere.
Well, it's really cool when you write stuff down and then 10 years later go back and look at it and think, oh, that's how I was thinking then.
Yeah.
And we all change, and we all grow, and we all become, like I always think about when you first go to primary school, you think, oh, wow, this is just impossible. It's so big, so terrifying. And then you finish primary school and go, oh, yeah, wow, I'm the king of the castle.
Yeah.
And then you go through the same process through high school and through life.
Yeah, constantly. Yeah, that's so good. Something I was thinking about when I was like writing questions for this is like, why is it important for us young people to kind of get a grasp on what this is all about?
Yeah, that's a really good question. Look, you've got time on your side.
Yeah,
And time, I think most people are aware of, the idea of compounding. And
what's that?
Well, compounding interest, for example.
Sure.
It's kind of like the interest that you get on the interest that you make. So it's like if you invest $10,000 and you get a 5% return, then that original $10,000 grows, right?
Yeah.
Or let's say 10% return to make it easier.
Sure.
So that grows to $1,100.
Yeah. Okay.
And then next year your interest is that little bit more, and then a little bit more and a bit more, and so in 7 years' time that money will have doubled.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And so that's called compounding, and then another 7 years it will have doubled again, and so in 14 years you'll have $40,000.
Yeah.
And so that's called compounding, and that works in real estate in a slightly different way.
Yeah.
Because in real estate you've got a mortgage, and you're paying off the mortgage, and it can be quite tough at first.
Yeah.
But hopefully your income increases as you get older.
Yeah.
You get more knowledge, more experience, you get pay rises, and as your income increases, it becomes easier for you to pay the mortgage.
Yeah.
But also the value of the property is increasing.
Yeah.
And so what we call this word equity, which is the value, or which is what you own in your property, starts to rise exponentially over time. So, as your property increases in value, and everyone says, well, is that always going to happen in Australia? Well, it always has happened in Australia.
Yeah.
And we have unique dynamics in Australia where we have so much immigration.
Yeah.
We've got such a desperately, we've got a shortfall in properties.
Yeah.
The supply-demand thing. There's far more demand than supply in properties. And so certainly for the next 20, 30 years, I can't see property prices coming down.
Sure. Okay. And then just kind of on that, obviously Sydney is there's always so much chatter about what's happening in Sydney. So for people who are in Sydney, is it better to kind of look out of Sydney?
Yeah. That's and I think that depends on your own circumstance. I think the next thing, a really good thing to do is obviously to have a really good look at your own finances and to say, okay, how much am I spending? How much am I earning? What's the difference? How much can I save? And then to do some analysis of that.
Yeah.
Because obviously it depends on what deposit you can put down. And that's generally 20% of the value of a property.
Yeah.
But I think it's a really good solution.
Yeah.
To be able to buy a property out of Sydney as an investment. For example, the average price of properties in Perth is 1/3 of the average price of properties in Sydney.
Yeah. Okay.
So, and I think the average price of properties in Sydney is about 1.3 million now. And and I think in Perth, around that 400 and something thousand.
Sure.
And so that's a really good way to go. Or you could look in Sydney, maybe a 1-bedroom unit is a starting point.
Yeah.
But it really depends on how quickly you want to get on the market. So for example, if you're prepared to go through a really disciplined savings program, and let's say you said, look, I'm going to save $500 a week. Now that might be far more than anyone can do, or it could be way less than someone could do. Maybe someone can do a lot more. But let's say that you had a goal to save $100,000 in 5 years, which is not unachievable if you really put your mind to it. That would then give you access to buying potentially a 1-bedroom unit on the Northern Beaches, although that's probably a little bit of a long bow. Maybe maybe somewhere else in Sydney. So I guess it all starts with really having a good, cold, hard look at your own finances, and then developing a savings plan. To be able to be in a position to have choices and make decisions about what you do. And it could be 5 years away before you buy property. It could be even more. It could be even 10 years. Although unlikely to be 10 years if you're a really good saver.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so the thing is to just look at it as it's a long-term process.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
That it's a long game. It's a long-term exercise. And don't put pressure on yourself. Don't feel like, it's impossible. I have to, I want to buy now and I can't and I'm frustrated. If you can step back and look realistically, but also while you're saving, while you're getting a deposit, it gives you time to learn about real estate, learn about mortgages, become financially literate, to then start getting out and looking at properties, going to open homes, inspections, meeting real estate agents, getting to know buyers agents, and building relationships.
Yeah, that's so good. And then you kind of touched on it just before, but when it comes to like determining a budget, do you have any tips on how to do that?
Yeah, well, look, I'm terrible at budgets.
Sure.
Oh my gosh, I'm so hopeless. I'm always been like, just make more money.
Right. Yeah.
But look, if there's some really good people available to help you do budgets, for example, here in church, the C3 Cares has a team run by Ted Beecher. And they will, at no cost, be really happy to help you develop a budget. But I think some people are naturally good and very disciplined at coming up with budgets. But and I'm talking about a household, your sort of personal budget. But in terms of trying to come up with a budget for a deposit, it's good to kind of push yourself a bit. It's good to have a bigger vision, which plays back to understanding a bit about who you are, your identity. And I guess ever since I've become a Christian, that's changed completely for me.
Sure.
I'm a lot more confident, a lot bolder.
Yeah.
A lot more convinced that I have the favor of God. And I have a lot more confidence that what I'm going to do is going to work out well.
Yeah.
Even though we still make mistakes.
Yeah. No, that's so good. And then, there's always people, because I assume there's some cases where you'd want to get a loan and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, that's a very good point. And I think it's good to start early.
Yeah.
So once you've got your financial situation written down on paper, and you go, well, this is how many assets I have.
Yeah.
These are my liabilities. If you've got a credit card, I'm going to write that down. I own maybe, I don't know, maybe you own some gold coins, or I don't know,
sure.
whatever, or your car. Write it all down.
Yeah.
And then write down your income and expenses.
Yeah.
And then your savings plan. And then it's a really good idea to actually go to a mortgage broker and say, look, I'm not ready to buy a house yet, but I'd love your feedback.
Yeah.
I'd love you to to have a look at my situation.
Yeah.
And let me know what you see.
Yeah.
And then they're more likely to be able to then say, look, you're doing really well, you're on track. If you can keep in mind that there are a few good things that you'll have access to in the future. I'm digressing now, but our Prime Minister Anthony Albanese is implementing a plan that says that if you fit certain criteria, the government will kick in either $30,000 or $40,000 without any interest to help you with a deposit.
Yes.
But it does mean that they then will own a little chunk of your house.
Sure. Okay.
But it's something to consider. So the more people you talk to, the more you find out about things like that.
Yeah.
And the more that they're helping you, because most people really want to help you.
Yeah.
So going back to your question about budgeting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once you've got your budget sorted out, and you've got a reasonably clear idea, when you go and talk to other people, it'll motivate you. To work a little harder.
Yeah.
Or maybe think, I need a better paying job, or maybe I should get educated. Maybe I should go to university and then access higher income. Yeah. Or maybe I can start a little business on the side. Maybe I can spend less money.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things to consider there.
Totally.
But it's momentum. It's getting moving.
Yeah. Yeah.
And momentum seems to create momentum.
Yeah, totally. I love that. Our last episode was about like being independent. Yeah. And so just like taking responsibility and like doing the hard stuff. So it's so good.
Well, I love that. I must listen to that.
Yeah.
I must listen to that. I listened to your first one and I loved it. You and Alex.
Yeah.
It was excellent.
Yeah. It was a good one. It's a good one. And then what are some like classic mistakes that people can make, and how can we avoid those classic mistakes when we're starting out?
Yeah, I think trying to do it on your own, I think, is the biggest mistake.
Yeah.
Because I've had so many people help me. Yeah. And people want to help you. Yeah. And so if you, for example, if you're wanting to get in the market, whenever you meet someone, just say, tell me, are you an investor or do you own a home? Yeah. How did you do that? Yeah. What would you do now if you were doing it? What advice would you give me? Yeah. And also getting to know accountants. Yes. If you don't have one, well, then maybe your parents have one. Getting to know lots of people. So don't do it on your own. You don't have to know everything. Yeah. Because it's overwhelming. Because you'll go online and read articles and think, oh, I don't understand what they're talking about. And so I think that'd be a big one. The second one, I think, is to be really clear in your mind that you're going to buy a really good quality property. Yeah. Because you're buying, you want that property to increase in value. And it's very tempting to go and buy a property in the country that is paying a very high rent, which can translate into what's called a very high yield, which is the return that you get. So for example, if you've got a property that's worth say $500,000, and you're getting $5,000 rent a year from that property, well, that's net after all costs. Then $50,000 rent.
Right.
Then that would be a 10% yield.
Okay.
Which is very high.
Yeah.
And sometimes it can be very tempting to think, oh wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
But if the value of the property doesn't grow, or potentially if it falls down, like in mining companies when the mine closes, and all the properties are worth nothing.
Yeah.
So you've got to buy good quality properties that are close to all of the amenities. Shopping centres, schools, transport.
Yeah.
And it's got to be in a place that's growing because people are moving in there, it's growing and it's prospering.
Yeah.
And rental and prices are going up.
Yeah.
So that's really important. And I think also getting the right people to help you. I use buyer's agents.
Okay.
Because I don't have time to find the properties that I want.
Sure.
And I've got a relationship with 3 different buyers agents who ring me every now and then and say, "Oh, look, there's this really good deal.
Yeah.
Would you like to be involved?" And I trust them.
Yeah, sure.
But not everyone is going to be trustworthy.
Yeah.
And so I think getting referrals from people that you know and trust, and saying, "Oh, look, I've used Fred for many years. He's been great."
Yeah.
And because it's a personal relationship, there's a little bit more accountability.
Yeah, sure.
From that chap to make sure that they look after my friend, if you like. And also, don't stress yourself too hard.
Sure.
Which is tempting, I know.
Yeah.
Because if you put yourself under enormous pressure, it can make life difficult.
Yeah. Just, even on that, it'd be great if you could speak into the stress that people are feeling about it, that it just kind of feels like, everyone's like, oh, I'll never be able to buy a house or stuff like that. If you have anything on that, it'd be great.
Yeah, I think it's very normal to have that kind of stress. And I think there's a couple of key things that we have to learn as we go through life. One is to get comfortable with dealing with uncertainty.
Yeah.
Because nothing's certain.
Yeah.
And when you wake up in the morning, you don't know for sure what's going to happen that day. Yeah. But you're pretty robust and you
still live out the day.
Yeah, you still live out the day.
Yeah.
And so being comfortable with living with uncertainty and not feeling, as I said before, not feeling like you have to know it all, because it's a big pressure.
Yeah.
If you're a lone soldier and as you said before, if you're so independent that you want to do everything yourself, that puts enormous pressure on you.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think going back to other things, building relationships with people who have done it already. So if there are people in your world, in your, whether it's church, whether it's your educational institution, whether it's your work, whether it's sport, whatever, have conversations with people and you learn a lot. You get ideas. And it also normalizes it. Yeah. Because you can see that, wow, they bought a house and they don't earn extremely high income. And so you can say, how did you do that? Yeah. And also I think as you get to know more people that are in the same situation as you, you're in a much better position to be able to say to people, hey, we've chosen not to go to restaurants because it's too expensive. Yeah. Why don't we start to do a bit of a progressive dinner night? We'll have dessert at your place. We'll have a main meal at ours, and then we'll go to have entree and then main meal, then dessert at Mary Lou's place. Yeah. And be creative and have fun.
No, totally. Like bring people alongside that journey with you.
Yeah, because it's not a new thing. It was just as much pressure on people my age buying our first property. Yeah. In fact, when I bought my first property, I made pretty much every mistake. I didn't have finances approved. And when I went to the bank and told them what I'd done, they went, oh, no.
Whoops.
We are not giving you a loan.
Yeah, wow, okay.
I had to go to about 10 different banks.
Oh, no. Yeah, wow. Well, such great advice, honestly. We do a segment on our show where we ask, like, what's the one thing you want people to take away from our conversation? So if you could give people one thing, what would it be?
The one thing, I think I think really challenge your own thinking and really challenge. Everyone gets into a rut.
Yeah.
And it's very easy to get into a rut.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the one thing that I'd say is to really boost your own confidence and boost your own boldness by getting outside of your world. So, it might be going to listen to a property seminar. I'm not saying that you necessarily need to follow on with what these guys do, but I mean, people that have achieved a lot of success in property, because it kind of stirs you up a bit.
Yeah.
And when you're around people that are successful and confident, it makes you think, well, wow, I could do that.
Yeah.
But if you're just talking to, or if your group of friends are all extremely negative about that, then it's going to be hard for you to have a different mindset.
Totally.
So yeah, I think just be bold, believe that God has a great plan and future for you.
Yeah.
It's a little bit like the Israelites. Coming out of slavery in Egypt and then in the wilderness, just enough to survive. Yeah. And then God's got the promised land for us all.
Totally. Yeah.
And I think that's very, very important. So your mindset, what you believe about money, and if you have any real concerns about maybe you're brought up to think that money's really evil and that anyone who owns property is a terrible person, maybe challenge that thinking.
Challenge that, yeah.
And talk to other people.
Yeah, so great. Thank you so much, Geoff.
Oh, that was fun.
Yeah, so fun. We have loved having you on this podcast.
Wow.
Try and get you back sometime soon.
It's been a real pleasure being here. This is very cool.
Oh, thank you. I know it's a different set since last time. Made a few changes, but yes, thank you so much for your advice, wisdom. So great. Such great advice from Geoff.
Thank you, Geoff.
Thank you,
Absolute
Geoff.
genius.
Got to get him back on. He's funny.
Yeah.
So funny.
Yeah.
And so
funnier than me?
No.
Funnier than Tyler.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, you're starting to get it. She's starting to get it, folks.
So I'm not sure if you heard, but Taylor Swift released an album.
Didn't we already talk about this at the beginning of the episode?
Yeah. And she's often compared to the likes of Shakespeare.
Yes, okay.
So we're going to see if you can tell the difference now.
Oh, wow. Okay, this is a bit fun. Okay, so we're playing a game, and I'm trying to guess.
If it's Taylor Swift or Shakespeare.
Who wrote it?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Band-Aids don't fix bullet holes.
Whoa. Taylor Swift.
Nice.
Okay, are you ready?
Sorry, I can't be perfect. It's neither.
Alex Sarko.
No, it's that band. Anyway, doesn't matter. It's a band. I'm sorry,
National?
I can't be perfect. No,
I've
it's
never
like
heard of it. I'm actually only just 20, so might be a bit out of my...
Okay.
Okay. Almost 21.
You know, Shakespeare's older than you.
Almost 21.
Yeah. Well, if you're lucky, I'll make you 21st.
Everyone's invited. No. No. Okay, are you ready?
Yes.
I think that you will get every single one of these right.
Oh, that is so much pressure, Charlotte. Why did you do that?
Just like
no, you are absolutely setting me up for a fail here. That's a power play. Wow. Well, why don't we do it to you then?
Because I will get them all right. Okay. Did I close my fist around something delicate? Did I shatter you?
Taylor Swift.
Correct.
Yeah.
Good. That's 1 point.
God, at least I got one.
Did you miss the rogue that coaxed you into paradise and left you there?
Did you miss the
rogue that coaxed?
Shakespeare? Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift from... That's from Evermore.
So you didn't write what song that was from beforehand?
But but it is. I can figure it out. Did I close?
No, I don't need you to. I just thought I was curious.
Coney Island. Featuring your favourite artist.
Who?
Incorrect, sorry.
Yeah. I didn't think the Beatles were on there.
No. It's it is. It's with Aaron Dessner.
He's the National, not the Beatles. There's a good 4 decades between them.
That you love the National.
I love the National.
They're not your favourite
close
band?
to my favourite band. Not even close.
In my head.
The Lumineers are my favourite band.
Aww.
Matched with maybe the Beatles, but Lumineers.
I love the Beatles too. What's your favourite Beatles song?
Wow. I don't know.
Mine's In My Life.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Are you ready? Are you impressed that I know the Beatles?
Yeah, it's not bad.
I'm going to a James Taylor concert tomorrow. Do you know who James Taylor is?
Yeah, I do. No interest.
Oh.
Yeah.
My tongue will miss the taming of my heart.
That'll be Shakespeare.
Yeah.
Yeah, just...
Which one?
I don't know.
Taming of my heart.
I don't know.
Oh, Taming of the Shrew.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. So you've
I'm not a Shakespeare scholar.
1 for 3.
Yeah. Well, 2 for 3. I got the first one. The first
1 out of 3 so far.
No, Charlotte, let's just do some simple maths. The first question I got right.
Yeah.
The second question I got wrong.
Yeah.
You just did a third one.
Oh, and you got it
right.
right.
And I got it right.
Sorry.
So that's 2 out of 3.
Okay.
I'm sure Tyler would be on 0.
Okay. Past the curses and cries, beyond the terror in the nightfall.
Say it again.
Past the curses and cries and... Oh, hold on. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, look. Past the curses and cries, beyond the terror in the nightfall.
Can you sing it? Taylor Swift.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think of... I'm trying to think of the Maryland.
I know, but yeah, but you shouldn't have... You just fell for the trap. I tricked you into...
I'm pretty sure that this is from your wife's favourite Taylor Swift song.
I know, but I think you haven't realised that I just tricked you into giving me the answer. Ha ha.
Whatever.
3 out of 4.
Okay.
75%. That's good.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Is there how many more?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Wow, that's too many.
I deleted 2 off this list. Okay. In my... Oh, sorry. Just messed up from the get-go. In black ink, my still shine bright. I feel like I wrote this down wrong.
Shakespeare. Yeah. What's it from?
Sonnet 65.
Oh, yes, of course, my favourite sonnet. One of my
He
preferred.
has an iconic one, but I don't know what it is. Oh, what I said earlier about that being from your wife's favourite song, I was wrong.
Cool, no worries. I don't care.
I'd meet you where the spirit meets the bone. Leaving some room for the audience to guess along too.
Well, we'll just cut that. Yeah. Hey, guys, have a guess.
Let us know below.
Yeah, that's the other thing. I have to guess so fast, otherwise it's dead air. Say it one more time.
I'd meet you where the spirit meets the bone.
I'd meet you where the spirit meets the bone. Taylor Swift.
Correct.
Yes.
From your wife's favourite song.
I've heard that song, I think, in my
Ivy.
house. Yeah. Yeah.
House of Stone,
You don't have to sing. She does it good enough.
The beats of a dark heart. Sorry, these beats of a dark heart.
Shakespeare.
Your favourite Taylor Swift song, Bad Blood from the Kendrick Lamar rap.
It's not my favourite song. Stop saying things are my favourite.
It's your favourite Taylor Swift song.
It's
Bad
not.
Blood with Kendrick Lamar.
It's not my favourite. I don't even, I know the chorus. That's all I know. I know
These
that one
beats of a
line.
dark heart.
Yeah, I don't know that. I literally have never heard that in my life.
Well.
Stop saying things are my favourite when they're not.
Whatever. And finally,
whatever.
Love is Merely Madness.
Shakespeare.
Yep.
Nice.
From As You Like It, which I've never heard of personally.
Okay.
But yeah. So.
Well, once again, I've done terribly, although better than the words.
1.
I got about maybe 6 out of 8, 5 out of 8. Not too bad. 5 out of 8.
Genuinely couldn't tell you.
Okay, well, you might have noticed that the audio cut out there. We're not sure what happened. So we've come back in the studio.
Let us know if you do.
Yeah, actually help. SOS. We don't know what Charlotte did. Could not be my fault. Has to be hers.
Yeah.
So we are just saying, wrapping up this episode, saying thanks so much for listening. Big thank you to Geoff for equipping us on how we can take some steps to buying a property in Sydney.
Yep.
Thank you, Geoff. You were fantastic.
Thank you, Geoff.
We also just want to say, hey, if you're enjoying this content, if you're enjoying this podcast, enjoying our banter and some of the topics that we discuss, we would love for you to share that with a friend. We're putting on this podcast for the people of Sydney, people in their 20s, trying to help equip them navigate living in Sydney. And so if you think there's some value here, if you think we're helping, please, we encourage you, share it with someone. We'd love to reach more of Sydney. Thanks so much, guys, and have a great week. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Goodbye.
SYD Life is a podcast produced by C3 SYD Church. We exist to help people know Jesus, find community, and discover their purpose. Find us on our website at c3syd.church and for more content and clips at sydlife.podcast.